Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Spoilers. Can Kristina forgive Blaze for spilling the beans to Molly? General Hospital. Spoilers. Tease Kristina Corinthos Davis. Kate Mancy has been on Cloud 9 for too long apparently. Up until Brooklyn Quartermain's, Amanda Setton, and Harrison Chase's Josh the Swickard wedding, when her dad, Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bernard, nearly killed Dex Heller, even Hofer. Kristina was living her best life. She may not have been on the best of terms with T.J. Ashford, Taj Bello, but she was dealing well with the complexities of carrying his child with Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vacanos. Speaking of Molly, it was easier for Molly to rebound from being a witness to her dad's violence as long as her district attorney's sister knew nothing about it. So learning that Allison Blaze Ramirez, Jacqueline Grace Lopez, let the truth slip to Molly set her world on fire. Kristina just may decide this is too much to forgive and forget. General Hospital spoilers. Too much too fast. Part of the grief Kristina is dealing with right now has more to do with how much is on her plate, emotionally, than what Blaze did specifically. But she still couldn't believe that her own girlfriend would betray her trust in that way or know her so little that she would think it was okay to say anything to Molly. By this point, Kristina assumed Blaze understood the contentious relationship Molly and Kristina have and that her girlfriend prefers her privacy, especially when it comes to the Davis girls. Every time she tries to put herself in Blaze's shoes, she may have trouble seeing past her own feelings. Spoilers say this could be the catalyst for a bigger hurdle. Blaze and Kristina being on the outs could serve to spark a new storyline in which they stay that way. Without Blaze in her corner, Kristina may start to feel like she's losing everything that mattered to her. She's likely to end up at odds with Molly, especially with TJ as soon as he finds out about the turbulent wedding experience she endured and didn't share with him and her sister. Distancing herself from them and her father at the same time will hurt, and it'll feel a lot more lonely doing it without a partner to curl up with at night. Will this lead to Kristina wanting to latch on to anyone and everyone she can before they leave her, including the baby she's carrying? General Hospital spoilers. Change lies ahead. It's going to be a summer full of surprises for Kristina and her family. Her mother is waiting to learn whether she'll become an attorney again, and we suspect she will just in time for Kristina to end up in a legal battle with Molly over their shared baby. If Kristina pushes Blaze away now, she may come to rely on her again in that time and rekindle something. If Blaze indulges Kristina's desire to keep the baby, it may be her inroad back into Chrissy's life. It may also be all the rallying she needs to truly take matters into her own hands and try to keep Molly and TJ's child. Stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers to see how this plays out. The warm rays of the Port Charles morning sun streamed through the Corinthos family's kitchen windows, casting a soft glow on the room's modern decor. Kristina Corinthos Davis sat at the kitchen island, her fingers tracing the rim of her coffee mug absent-mindedly. Her mind was elsewhere, tangled in a web of emotions that had been spun the night before. It all started when Blaze, Kristina's new friend and business partner at the community center, had inadvertently let slip to Molly about Kristina's plans to become a surrogate for her sister and TJ. It wasn't that Blaze intended to spill the beans. She had been genuinely excited and thought Molly was in on the secret. The look of shock and confusion on Molly's face was etched in Kristina's memory, a stark reminder of the fallout that words could create. Kristina sighed, the sound heavy with the weight of her thoughts. She had been so careful, so deliberate in how she wanted to share the news with Molly and TJ. It was supposed to be a private moment, a decision discussed in a loving, controlled environment. Instead, it had been blurted out in the middle of a bustling community center meeting, reducing what should have been a heartfelt family discussion to an awkward public revelation. Her phone buzzed on the counter, snapping her out of her reverie. A text from Blaze. "Hey Kristina, can we talk? I'm really sorry about last night." Kristina stared at the message for a moment, her initial instinct to ignore it. But she knew Blaze didn't mean any harm. They had become close over the past few months, sharing the triumphs and challenges of running the community center. Blaze was passionate, driven, and genuinely cared about the people they were helping. Yet her enthusiasm sometimes got the better of her. With a deep breath, Kristina typed back, "Sure. Meet at Charlie's in 30. As she walked into Charlie's pub, the familiar comfort of the place enveloped her. She spotted Blaze at a corner table, her posture tense and eyes scanning the room anxiously. Blaze's auburn hair fell in waves around her face, partially hiding the worry etched on her features. "Hey," Kristina greeted, sliding into the seat opposite Blaze. "Hey," Blaze replied, her voice soft. "I'm really sorry about last night, Kristina. I didn't mean to, I just thought Molly already knew." Kristina studied Blaze's face, seeing the genuine remorse there. "I know you didn't mean to," she said slowly. "But it's complicated. This is a big deal for Molly and TJ, and I wanted to be the one to tell them." Blaze nodded, her eyes downcast. "I get that. I got carried away. I was so excited about what you're doing. It's such a generous, incredible thing." "Thanks," Kristina said, a small smile tugging at her lips despite the lingering frustration. "But you need to understand that some things need to be handled with care. It's not just about excitement, it's about timing and respect." Blaze looked up, her eyes meeting Kristina's. "You're right, I should have been more mindful. Can you forgive me?" Kristina leaned back in her chair, pondering the question. Forgiveness wasn't just a word, it was a process. It meant understanding, empathy, and a willingness to move forward. And Kristina valued her friendship with Blaze. She didn't want this mistake to overshadow what they had built together. "I can," she said finally. "But we need to work on communication. We're partners at the center, and that means being on the same page." Blaze's face lit up with relief. "Absolutely, I promise to be more careful. Thank you, Kristina." The two women continued to talk, their conversation shifting from apologies to plans for the community center. The tension slowly melted away, replaced by the camaraderie that had brought them together in the first place. Later that evening, Kristina found herself at her mother, Alexis's house, where Molly and TJ were waiting. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation and a hint of tension. Kristina had called ahead to explain that she wanted to talk, and she could see the curiosity in her sister's eyes. "Kristina, what's going on?" Molly asked, her voice tinged with concern. Kristina took a deep breath, ready to step into the role she had chosen. "Molly, TJ, I wanted to talk to you both about something important. I know Blaze kind of spilled the news, but I wanted to explain everything properly." Molly and TJ exchanged glances before focusing back on Kristina. "Go ahead," TJ encouraged. "I've been thinking a lot about your situation and how much I want to help you both start a family. After a lot of consideration, I've decided that I want to be your surrogate. If you'll have me." A moment of stunned silence followed her words, and then Molly's eyes filled with tears. "Kristina, are you serious? You would do that for us?" "Yes," Kristina affirmed, her own eyes misting. "I want to do this for you. For our family." TJ, usually so composed, looked visibly moved. "Kristina, this is incredible. We don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything right now," Kristina replied, her voice gentle. "Just think about it, and we can figure out the details together." Molly rushed forward, wrapping Kristina in a tight hug. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. "Thank you so much." As the sisters embraced, Kristina felt a sense of peace wash over her. The road ahead would be challenging, but she knew they would face it together, as a family. And in the end, that was what mattered most. The days that followed were filled with discussions, planning, and a renewed sense of purpose. Blaze continued to prove her dedication at the community center, and Kristina found that their bond was stronger for having navigated through the misunderstanding. Forgiveness, Kristina realized, was not just about moving past a mistake. It was about understanding the intentions behind actions, about communication and growth. Blaze had made an error, but her heart was in the right place. And in the grand scheme of things, that was what counted. Port Charles was a town of second chances, of new beginnings. And as Kristina looked around at the people she loved, she knew that they would all continue to make mistakes, to stumble and fall. But they would also continue to forgive, to rise, and to support each other through it all. In that moment, surrounded by her family and friends, Kristina felt a deep sense of gratitude for the challenges, for the growth, and for the unwavering love that bound them all together.